There's no way you could build a $500,000 synth studio with only 10 synths. Let's give it a shot. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. My name is Torvik, and today we're gonna play a little game. Today I thought it would be fun to price out a ridiculous synth studio. My goal is to get as close to $500,000 as possible while maxing out at 10 synths, which is insane. Obviously, that's an average of $50,000 per synth. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. That seems kind of insane. I've got some synths in my mind that I know are up there. They're really, really expensive, very rare, especially some of these V1s from the early 70s and 80s. They can be extremely, extremely expensive. So I'm gonna get as close as I can to 500,000 total, but that's going to be a stretch. So the way I'm gonna do this to challenge myself a little bit more is I can't look up anything beforehand. Once I choose a synth or a route I wanna go down, I have to stick to that synth. I can't change it, I have to stick with it, put it on the list, and then I'm gonna go to Reverb to price it out. I can choose the most expensive version of it if I want to. I'm gonna add it to the cart, and at the end of the video, I will add up the entire cart to see how close I am to $500,000 with under 10 synths. I might use Reverb or Sweetwater just depending on what's available, but once I choose a synth, I have to stick with it. All right, synth number one. This is actually gonna be an easier one for me because I was just looking at one of these a couple weeks ago, and that is an original Yamaha CS80. Generally speaking, from what I've seen, these will range anywhere from like $50,000 to $80,000 depending on condition. So let's check Reverb and see what we can find. All right, well, it looks like there's literally only one CS80 on Reverb right now, and it is $88,000. So you best believe we are going to add that to our cart. We're actually off to a much better start than I thought. I believe the one that I saw the other day was like 66,000 or 68,000. 88,000 is a nice little buffer for us on this list. Another thing with this list is I don't want any repeat versions. For instance, I don't want to have a CS50, CS60, and a CS80 all in the cart because I know they're all pretty expensive. Obviously, because of the synth world, there's going to be probably quite a few repeat brands and companies and stuff like that, but I'm going to try to stay away from having several of like the exact same thing in the cart. I want to try to have as much variety as possible while also just trying to think of things off the top of my head. All right, so these first two are a little bit easier for me just because I know they're very expensive. After this, it's a little bit iffy on what's available and what they're valued at currently. Number two on this list has to be the Analog Solutions Colossus. This synth is incredibly rare, it's massive, and it's very, very, very expensive. As of this video, there's none available on Reverb, so we're gonna go to Sweetwater to price it out there. Dang, and I was right. This thing is incredibly expensive and wildly massive too. I wanna say that I saw some videos with, it might've been Mike Dean, and then maybe another video with, I think it was Anthony Marinelli, that was featuring this incredible semi-modular analog synthesizer, and it's an absolute beast. Right now, Sweetwater has it for $63,700, so we are once again off to an incredible start when it comes to our pricing out this $500,000 studio. All right, for synth number three, we're gonna go pretty classic 70s and 80s. I'm not sure what these are going for exactly right now, but I know they're typically going for around $20,000, and that's going to be the Roland Jupiter 8. You'll hear the synth on an absolutely massive number of records, especially in the 80s. It sounds absolutely gorgeous. Let's see what they're priced at. Yeah, it does look like the Jupiter 8 is going for anywhere between $20,000 and $30,000. I do see a number of them here at around 25, so that's what we're gonna stick with. We'll average it out just a little bit while still being kind of on the high end, and we'll choose one at $25,000. Now's where I've really got to challenge myself on my synth knowledge because I'm trying to think of what else is out there. Now, obviously, there's some very, very expensive synths out there. You know, I mean, even some of the stuff that's on the market today is, you know, between $3,000 and $5,000. You know, your Profits and your Oberheim OB6s and OB8s and OBXAs and stuff like that. But I think if we're going to get anywhere near this $500,000 cart total, I think we're gonna have to keep things pretty vintage for the most part, most likely revision 1. My next go-to that I think would at least be a minimum of 10,000, maybe a bit higher, maybe 12, 15,000, would be an ARP 2600, an original full-size ARP 2600, maybe with the key bed. Let's see what those are going for. 2600 is one of my favorite synths in the world. I would love to get my hands on one of the reissues someday soon. It's such a gorgeous sounding synth. All right. Sort highest to lowest. Let's get into it, Reverb. Dang! All right, we do have one We do have a Gray Marvin going for $60,000. That doesn't seem super typical, though. Obviously, that's going to be a very special circumstance, but as I scroll down here, like I assumed, there are some between $12,000 and $15,000. I mean, there's a couple here, 15 and then 18,000. Let's go ahead and go 15. That seems like a good route. I'm not going to do the 60 just because I don't see that being the norm. I see several here between $13,000 and $15,000. So let's add this $15,000 one to the cart and move on. All right, synth number 5. I'm having to dig deep a little bit here because, again, I know some expensive synths. I know Juno 106 and whatever like that, but you can get those for $2,000, $2,500, 3 in great condition. That's not as high as we need to be here. So, and once I choose a synth, I can't go back on it. I can't be like, ooh, actually, let me change versions. We gotta stick with it. We gotta stick with it. So, I know some of you are probably screaming at me for some synth that you know that's like $200,000, and I'm just not even going anywhere near it. But I'm also not doing standard pianos or organs or stuff like that, or even like Rhodes and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to keep it like pretty typical synthesis. All right, the next on my list that I know can get up there because a new one, like a Rev 4, is like $3,500, and a 10 voice, I believe, is like $4,500. So we're gonna go with an original Rev 1 Prophet 5. Let's see what those are going for. I think that it's gotta be at least 10. It's gotta be at least 10. If the Rev 4 is 36, 3,500, and a 10 voice would be about 4,500 to 5, it's gotta be at least 10. So let's look it up. The Prophet 5 is another one of my absolute favorite sounding synths. It has such a beautiful tone and texture, especially on the high end. It's got this open shimmer to it that is absolutely gorgeous. Sort high to low. Give me something reverb. Okay. Oh, here's a Rev 1. Rev 3's for 9. Rev 2, yeah, I said Rev 1. $30,000. I'm looking right here on Reverb. Some of the Rev 3s are going for 8, but we said Rev 1 because I thought that would be the priciest one, and we were absolutely correct. At least 10, it's $30,000. I need that win right now because I know I've got to be way off the target at this point. Add to cart, baby. All right, so we've got the CS80, we've got the Jupiter 8, we've got the ARP 2600, we've got the Colossus, that was a massive one. We've got the Colossus, that's huge. And we have the Rev 1 Prophet 5. Okay, we got to dig a little bit deeper now, and I have some brands I know I still need to get to that will have something good. Next that's kind of bouncing around my head is Oberheim. Now, obviously, you've got your OB6s. Those are, I think, around 3,500, something like that. I know we've got the OBXAs or the OBX8. Those, I think, are around $5,000. That doesn't cut it. Now, I go to like a 4 voice. Those are powerful. They're extremely rare. But I feel like it's also kind of hard to like find info on them. A lot of times they're not usually sold. So I want to go with something that I feel like I have a higher chance of actually getting some info on. I think I'll probably go, you know, another one that pops into my head would be like a Matrix 12. I'm going between a 4 voice and a Matrix 12. The old Matrix 12s, I use the plugin all the time and it sounds crazy. It's a fantastic synth. I don't see them very often either. I'm gonna go with the Matrix 12. That's just what my guts tell me. I'm gonna be mad if later on I find out that 4 voices are going for like $70,000 or something like that. I don't even know what they're going. I know they're expensive, I know they're rare, but I don't know what they're going for. All right, Matrix 12. Okay, I like what I'm seeing. Let's go high to low. 26,000, 20,000, 20,000. Okay, that's a bit of a relief. That is a little bit of a relief. So let's go 20,000. Let's go 20,000. Add to cart. I actually wasn't expecting that to be that high. I was expecting more 12 to 15, but that is incredibly relieving. We're going $20,000. Oberheim Matrix 12. Let's get it. All right, we're 6 synths in right now. I have no idea how close we are to the target. I still feel like we're pretty far off. There's been some heavy hitters in there, but I still really feel like we've got some work to do. Obviously, we've got to get into some Moog. I don't know what the systems are going for nowadays, so I'm gonna go with kind of the classic original mini Moog. The first issue, not the reissue, of course. The reissue Model D, those are like $5,000, $6,000. I would assume because of that price point that an original issue of the mini Moog would be $20,000. So that's what I'm going for next. This is synth number 7. All right, mini Moog. Sort high to low. Okay, I was pretty close. Yeah, about 15. I mean, I'm seeing $13,000 to $15,000. We're gonna run with 15 right here at the top. Add to cart. Moving on. I do apologize, they're jamming next door. It might be kind of hard to hear now. All right, I only have 3 synths left, and I'm feeling kind of stumped now. I feel like I've gotten through a lot of the big hitters, the ones that I knew would be a bit farther up on the list. I'm struggling to think of some others that would be there. I know some of y'all are screaming at your screen right now of some synths that you know that are crazy, so if you do know of some other synths that I am not mentioning right now that would top this list, that are crazy, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 synths, drop them in the comments. I know I'm missing some stuff, so please drop them in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this kind of content too. All right, for synth number 8, my brain is kind of stuck on Moog for a second, just because I know they have some much higher cost setups. Now, I'm really kind of only going to a Moog 1, or a Model 10. I think the Moog 1 is, both you can get new right now, as far as I'm aware, both you can get new. I believe the Moog 1 is $10,000, like on Sweetwater. Pretty sure it's $10,000. The Moog Model D, I think it's the same, but there could be some potential that it's a bit higher. It might be even like 15K, something like that. Let's go with the model, just because I feel like it's harder to find those cheaper. You could probably find a Moog 1 for $7,000, $8,000 potentially. Let's go with the Model 10 from Moog. That's different enough from a mini Moog that I'm happy with sticking with that. All right, let's see what we got. Moog, Model 10. Let's see. Okay, 12. 10, 12, all right, 12 grand. That's not crazy. I mean, obviously everything on this list is, but compared to 50,000, 60,000, 12 isn't a massive dent, but we are gonna use 12. This is the Moog Model 10 Legacy Modular System. Let's get into it, add it to cart. All right, I only have 2 spots left, and I really feel like I'm running out of steam. I don't think that any of the Junos would work. I was thinking 60 an original or anything like that. I just don't think I'm gonna get much higher than like 5, 6 grand, maybe 8 grand for a really, really nice one. I feel like I have to stay over 10. Like for most of these, I've really got to reach for 10. Obviously, much higher would be better. I'm gonna kind of reach deep into my pockets. One of the synths that I use all the time in plug-in form that I've never had a chance to get my hands on, but it sounds crazy. It's a company called Bula, and they have a synth called the EMS that I use all the time in plug-in form. It's amazing. It sounds crazy, and I know they have really, really expensive products too. The one that I know of is like a modular stack that they have. I don't know the exact name for it, but I know it's like a 3-stack modular system, similar to like a System 55 or something like that. I just know I saw one maybe a couple months ago that was like 15,000 or something like that. I think it's more than the ESL. The ESL I think you can get for like 5 to 10, but we're gonna go with the Bula modular stack. I don't remember its exact name, but I know that's what I'm looking for. It's the 3-tier stack, and so we're gonna see what I can find on Reverb. All right, let's go high to low. Let's see if I can find it. That's it right there. That 200. That 200E right there is what I'm looking for. Now they have a 208 down here that doesn't have all the modules. The 223, 207, 201 system. I need the 200 right here. That is the missing piece I've been looking for. This is exactly what I need. $24,000. That's what I'm talking about. Add to cart. All right, this is it. This is the last one. I don't really know where to go. I feel like I need to go pretty obscure, because anything that's fairly mainstream is just not gonna hold any weight with this kind of a goal of $500,000 for a synth studio with only 10 cents. We've done 9. This is our last one. I don't think anything from Moog is gonna hold it. We already have the ARP 2600, which is huge, CS80, Matrix 12, original mini Moog, the Model 10. We've got some heavy hitters on there. I'm gonna go as obscure as it gets now. I'll cheat a little bit and I'll go pretty broad because I don't know the name of this one exactly, but it's from a company called EMS. I'm always on Sweetwater and Reverb, just and eBay, looking at obscure, crazy synths and stuff like that. It's just fun. It's just a hobby of mine to just look at this stuff. And there's a company called EMS that makes a polyphonic synth. I don't remember the name of it. I don't remember too many details about it, but it was big and colorful, extremely, extremely rare, and it was like $40,000. So I don't know if there's any for sale right now, because at the time it was the only one that I had found. I think it was on eBay, and it was like $42,000, $44,000, something like that. I don't know if I'll be able to find one. If we can, awesome. I'll stick with it. If I can't find one at all, then of course I'll try one other option if I can think of it. But I'm really hoping that we can get an EMS polysynth at the end of this list to at least get us maybe like 20, 30. I mean, if it's like what I saw, the old polysynth that I saw, it was like $40,000. That would just be a dream. Let's see what we got. All right, we're just gonna look up EMS Synth and see what comes up. Come on, reverb. Please be something good. I need this win here at the end, okay? Hold on. Okay, I'm seeing 40,000, 30,000, 60,000. That's it. It's this colorful one. Hold on. Okay, I just gotta make sure. I gotta double check. So there's the Synthy AKS. That is beautiful. I think I have a plugin of that. $40,000. That's crazy. The VCS3. That's not. It's this one. It's the EMS Polysynthy analog synthesizer, out of this world, rare. Look at this beautiful, beautiful device. Big, heavy. It looks like a stage controller for a circus or something like that. $60,000. That's what $60,000 is. So crazy. That might have been the clutch that we needed at the end of this. I don't know. We're adding to cart. I don't know if we are reaching our goal of $500,000, but I do know that helped quite a bit. All right, we have all 10 synths. Now all that is left to do is to add all of these totals up and see what we have. I don't know if we've averaged $50,000 per synth, which is insane, but I do think we have to have at least like 300,000. Just knowing that some of these $60,000, $70,000 hitters are on there, we've got to be at least at 300,000. So let's add them all up and see where we're at. I'm also not including shipping just because I just want the cost of the synth. And the grand total is, drumroll please, $352,683.98. Now obviously we are like $150,000 short of our $500,000 goal, but it is still pretty insane to see the amount of value that can be held in these synth systems. As someone who has always loved synthesis, loves keyboards, has been playing piano my entire life, a classically trained pianist, and one of the first instruments that I ever bought for myself was a little microKORG with a vocoder. But it's always just been fascinating to me how much value can be held in these synth systems. Some of these that are, decades and decades old. It's really incredible to see just the amount of legacy that these systems hold. They're amazing, they're powerful, they're beautiful. Hopefully, maybe someday we'll have some of them. Maybe someday you'll have some of them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, share it with someone else that you think would maybe enjoy this kind of content. And again, leave in the comments if I missed some synths that are just obvious to you that I left out that you think would be really, really wildly valuable, then please drop them in the comments, and hopefully we'll see y'all very soon. Peace.